And like always, we're going to start off with giving all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High God, the great God that keepeth covenants and mercies for them that love him and observe his commandments. And then to his Son, who is our King, our Prince, our Savior, our true apostle, our true shepherd, our master teacher, our master healer, and so much more, but ultimately, whom the Father used to reconcile us back to himself. We thank God for his Son. And then everybody that's with us, elders, mothers, brothers, sisters, children, those that's going to be joining us online through YouTube. As the scripture states, all the partakers of the heavenly calling, we thank God for each and every one of you. All right, beloved. We are at our last chapter in James. Okay, so we go to our James chapter 5. Let's go to James chapter 5. Right. Like I said, if you have something, you can bring it out. All right, you're welcome to bring it out. I got a few things. So we go to James chapter 5. And we're going to start at verse 1. All right. James chapter 5. And we're going to start at verse 1.
Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten.
All right. Let's start off with some of the obvious things. This saying that rich men, all right, is all rich men corrupted and, moths going to be, are their garments moth-eaten? Is this saying that, you shouldn't be rich because of this? If you're rich, you're evil. Is that what this passage is saying?
Nah, when we get down further, the context is going to explain, what rich men is talking about.
Good. That's why we are heavy with the context, beloved. Yes, you can go in this book and extrapolate, a certain passage, and you just have it isolated, right? It could appear a certain way. Absolutely. All right. But context can clear a lot of things. A lot of misconceptions happen in the scriptures because of people not gathering the context around it. Okay. And that's not just with the Bible, beloved. I don't know why they change all the rules when it comes to the Bible. This is with language in general. All right. Even in English, right? They talk about that comprehension, right? And that understanding things, right? You have to see what everything else is saying. Okay. Now we have a phrase. Let me throw one out there just to test y'all. We say phrases like it's raining cats and dogs. Okay. Now, beloved, does that mean it's literally raining cats and dogs? Okay, little chihuahuas and rottweilers and pit bulls, falling. No. Okay. So when you're dealing with language, there's certain verbiage things, there's certain things that's taken literal, there's certain things that's figurative. All right, you're gonna have all these different things. So the context really plays a big role when we're trying to understand things and understanding certain writers. All right. So Brother Kai did already gave the answer with this. This is not going against all rich men. Okay, this is not going against all rich men. Okay? But the ones that it applies to. Okay, so say go to now, you rich men. Matter of fact, let me go back. Let's go back to chapter 4, so we can see kind of what stuff we were dealing with. Okay, so go to James chapter 4. Let's just read verse 1 to remember what the last chapter was shifting to. All right. So Brother Kyle, let's read James chapter 4. Give us verse 1 and 2.
From whence come wars and fightings among you? Come they not hence, even of your lust that war in your members? Ye lust and have not, ye kill and desire to have, and cannot obtain. Ye fight in war, yet ye have not, because ye ask not.
All right, so he's talking about certain things. He's talking about you having this war in your members. You having an internal war within yourselves. You got lust, you got you want to kill, you're coveting, you're doing all these things. All right. So this is what he's dealing with. He's talking about now the certain kind of situation that we are fighting within self. All right. And that's what we're not going through all this because that's what we did with last week. Okay. And then let's just read verse 17. Okay.
Therefore, to him that knoweth to do good and doeth it not, to him it is sin.
All right. No do good and do it not, it is a sin. Okay. So now it's going to go to now, ye rich men. All right. Weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. So you shall receive misery. So this is foreshadowing. This is going to be something that's going to happen. All right. Your riches, listen, your riches are corrupted and your garments are moth eaten. Right. So, beloved, once again, if it's talking about all rich men, okay, if it's a problem with being wealthy and rich, what is one of the biggest problems with that, beloved, when you're reading the Bible? What is one of the biggest problems if you thinking rich people are, in sin or something wrong with it? What is one of the obvious responses you can have?
Some of our forefathers were rich: Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and many others.
Yes. All right. The obvious thing is, beloved, just go to simple things. You think a king of a nation, right, with all these people, you think they were poor? You think the kings of Israel was poor? You think David was poor, right?
Solomon.
You Abraham, our first one, they had wealth.
Right.
Wealth is not the issue. Now, wealth can now magnify something that's within. Okay. So if you are evil and you have wealth, you can do more evil because wealth is a tool. Okay. If you are good and charitable, when you have more wealth, you can just do more good and more charity. So it just enhances what you are already, well, your spirit within you do. Okay. So it's not the wealth, it's what comes with it. Now, some people can't handle those things. Okay. That's not the wealth problem, that's the individual problem. There's some people that will run into wealth and they will smooth forget about God. Some people forgot about him for less. Okay, they get a raise and they'll forget about God. All right. But some people run into money and all these opportunities and they'll forget about God. Okay. Doesn't mean it's evil. A wife is a good thing. There's some people got married and forgot about God. Okay. But you won't say, well, the wife that's bad is evil. Nope. Same thing, children. There's everything, even that God said is good and blessed. We turn a lot of blessings into curses. All right. And so here you go. But riches can go into a bunch of different things, but we're just going to keep on the surface level with just monetary just to make it easy. All right. Anybody got anything for verse 1 and 2? Or we keep going. Anybody got anything? All right, Brother Kai, let's keep going. Let's see if the context open it up.
Your gold and silver is cankered,
Hmm?
and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days.
Let's stop there real quick. I want to go somewhere with this. All right. So your gold and silver is cankered. All right. It's getting old. This is what happens. All right. The rest of them shall be a witness against you. So them being old, decaying, being, corrupted, destroyed. This is going to be a witness against you. Okay. Well, how can something that's not a person or a living entity be a witness? The scriptures do this. All right. It talks about when we were making a covenant, it says heaven and earth will be be a witness against you. Okay. So don't get caught up in that. That's some of the language of the Bible. And shall eat, right? It shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye, listen, ye have heaped treasures together for the last days. Okay. So I want to go to a certain parable that Christ talked about. Okay, as it relates to money. Okay. Let's go to Luke chapter 12. Let's go to Luke chapter 12. And we're going to dive down to verse 13. Why am I going this far down? Sorry. Uh, yes, let's go to Luke chapter 12 and verse 13. Luke chapter 12 and verse 13.
And one of the company said unto him, Master, speak to my brother, that he divide the inheritance with me.
All right. This most likely a younger brother, okay? Because remember, our culture, a lot of times the older one will get the inheritance, all right? So the brother is coming and saying, Master, please tell my brother to share some of that inheritance with me, okay? Let's see how Christ responds.
And he said unto him, Man, who made me a judge or a divider over you?
Man, who made me the boss of how the inheritance is going to be divided amongst you, all right? That ain't my job. That's the father gives it to the child. If he want to divvy certain things and give it to other ones, that's him. So Christ is saying, this really not my position to be the judge and divider of this inheritance. Okay. Nonetheless, let's keep going.
And he said unto him, Take heed and beware of covetousness. For a man's life consists of not in the abundance of the things which he possesseth.
All right. Listen. All right. Take heed. You hear that is that you need to beware. All right. You think about this. Take heed and beware of covetousness. Because he's probably pointing out this brother's spirit. Okay, you better be mindful of coveting. We know that's in scripture. We can't be coveting. For a man's life, listen, a man's life consisteth not in the abundance of things which he possesseth. That's not what life's about. That shouldn't be even the value of it on what you possess. Okay. Once again, this is not getting, don't get it wrong. You can have abundance of certain things. Don't let that be your whole mission of just how much abundance you can get. Okay. Don't let that be your life and consume you. Let's keep reading.
And he spake a parable unto them, saying, The ground of a certain rich man brought forth plentiful.
Hmm?
And he thought within himself, saying, What shall I do? Because I have no room where to bestow my fruits.
Man, I am loaded. All right. I'm reaping so much. I'm getting so much. I keep it in layman terms. I'm getting so much income and flow coming in. I don't have enough. I'm running out of money, room to even save all this that I'm getting in. Okay. But let's keep reading.
And he said, This will I do. I will pull down my barns and build greater, and there will I bestow all my fruits and my goods.
Man, I'm going to tear down this account I have. I'm going to get it bigger so I can put more and more of my wealth in this safe haven. All right, is where we put there. He bestowed it in the room, so he's making this thing safe. I'm gonna put all my wealth in here. Okay, let's keep reading.
And I will say to my soul, Soul, thou hast much goods laid up for many years. Take thine ease, eat, drink, and be merry.
So this we get comfortable, right? Man, I got enough for my lifetime, my children's life. I got more than enough. So this we saying. I'm telling my soul, let's relax. Let's enjoy. Let's just eat, drink, and be merry. Okay, we don't worry about anything. I'm good. All right. Ask a question, beloved. Is it wrong to eat, drink, and be merry? Is it something wrong with that, beloved? To eat, drink, or be
No,
merry?
there's nothing wrong with it.
Thank you. All right. This is right. There's nothing wrong with it. You're going to let people grab certain things. He didn't say that part was the sin. Okay, I can show you another passage where it actually tells you life is about having those good times. We can do this on feasts and everything. You're supposed to enjoy your life. All right, you're allowed to enjoy it. Okay. However, let's keep reading. Verse 20.
But God said unto him, Thou fool,
Hmm.
this night thy soul shall be required of thee. Then who shall those things be which thou hast provided?
Some people get all caught up on all these things and laying their treasures up, but you don't know, fool. You thinking you got these treasures. I'm just gonna be good and living life. And he's saying, you a fool. Why? You don't know something. What don't he know? Your life is going to end tonight. And guess what? Who's going to enjoy all those things you had in store? All right. But listen to the next verse. It's very important.
So he that layeth up treasure for himself and not rich toward God.
You see that? This brother, this fool, laid up treasure for himself. But what was the issue, beloved? Is it wrong to save money? Is it wrong to save abundance of money? Is this what Christ's going against? Saying, don't y'all ain't supposed to be saving, just be spending it and don't. Is that what the problem was? What was the problem, beloved? Anybody catch what the problem was? Read that verse 21 again, Brother Kai. Let's see if somebody catch it.
So he that layeth up treasure for himself and not rich toward God.
Yeah. And this is why we have to hear the whole matter out. All right. He that layeth up treasure for himself and connected and is not rich toward God. Okay. Now, there's a lot of people that just worry about, you just worry about gain, and just worry about getting more. Got to chase the money, got to chase the money, got about to be rich by all means, right? A lot of people that do that, they're consumed with that. That's their main priority and focus. They will fall into this. However, there are some, right, that will what? Fear God, keeping his commandments, and abundance can increase through that. They wouldn't fall in here. Why? Because they prioritize God. Okay? And the riches attach to self. If you are just chasing the riches, your life is just about gaining wealth, you forgot about the Lord. And then when it's time, because we only got a certain amount of time on this earth, beloved, you got to answer for the deeds done in your body. And all you can say was, I was trying to get the bag, as people say. But he's saying, I gave you a mission to do. All you did on this life was chase money. That's what your life was about. Chasing money, coveting this money that's going to what? Be destroyed. There's people that chase their whole life getting this money. And guess what? With the money, guess the thing it can't do. It can't buy life. It's the one thing. Okay? It's temporary. When you die, it transfers to somebody else. But people put their whole life on it instead of investing into their spiritual person, right? What they're supposed to be. God did not create us just for these kind of desires. He created us to what? Fear him and love him. Can you have fun fearing him and loving him? Absolutely. Can you enjoy life by fear? Absolutely. But you better make sure you keep the priority. All right. So this brother was just worried about laying up treasures for himself and did not worry about laying up treasures, what? Being rich towards God, being rich in the spirit. Okay. That's the imbalance. Okay. Prioritize God. And 9 times out of 10, beloved, not 9 times 10, when you prioritize God, he said he'll take care of you. Anybody know why Solomon, how he got all that wealth? Anybody know? Was he trying to get the bag? Was that his desire?
No, his desire was for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to judge the people.
Yes.
So you seek the kingdom first.
Nobody thinks about that with Solomon. Everybody get caught up on the women thing. I get it. And that's what tells you about people. People always focus on, the bad evil he done. Solomon prayer, when he first got in there saying, this is a great people, Lord. This is a great and mighty people. I want to judge them correctly. Give me the wisdom to judge my brothers and sisters correctly, to lead them correctly and properly. That's a beautiful thing, beloved. He thought about what? Loving his brother and sister. That's the epitome of what the scriptures talk about. People don't overlook that. I mean, they overlook that all the time. That's how Solomon started. And the Lord said, because you didn't ask for, well, can I live forever? Can I have all the wealth of the world? I want to be the richest man in the world. He didn't ask for something selfish. He asked for something that will benefit others Instead of him, God said, I'm going to give you something that benefit you. And that's how we got blessed with that. And I tell people, you think God, if being rich is a curse and sin and all that stuff, you think God gave Solomon a sin? Right? So just understand it, beloved, it's the balance. But what happened with Solomon after a while, he got what? He got distracted from what? Serving the Most High God and got caught up. Okay. But if he would have kept that mind, just like his father, try to keep that mind of serving God, it'd have been fine. Right? All right. Let's go back to James. All right. Let's go back to James. So, right. So yeah, that unrighteous thing, that unrighteous gain you doing, okay, trying to gain all this stuff for yourself. Guess what? It's going to get corrupted, and guess who else getting corrupted at the same time? You are. Just like all them nice clothes you get, and guess what? It's going to get bad. It's going to get old and fade away and all that stuff. And guess what? You're going to fade away just with it. So he's saying that's how it's going to be judging you. Okay. So this is what you worried about, temporary things that is going to perish. The same thing with you. You want to be temporary and you want to perish. Okay. And that's going to be the judgment because you worried about just getting the riches and not chase after God. Right. All right. Brother Kyle, let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Verse 4. Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth.
All right. Let me grab something with that. And then I don't have precepts for a while after that. All right. So behold the hire of laborers who have reaped down your fields. So you got some workers, all right, that's working in your field. Let's say you have, a garden or whatever. You got a great big garden. And you got people working it, right? They're weeding it, they're tilling it, they're watering the right spots and all those kind of things. And he says, what? You basically kept back their wages. Say they did all their work. You're like, yeah, I'm not going to pay you. Okay. Now somebody working, they need that money. They need the resources, right? It's like you need money, right? So now you defrauded them, and now they got to cry to the Lord, Lord, right? I did this work. I'm doing this thing properly, and this person defrauded me. He said they cry, and they cry to them which have reaped are entered. Listen, now he's saying what? They enter into the ears of the Lord of Sabbath. So the Lord hears this now. Hears the cries of these people that you, all right, that you have done wrong, all right. And a lot of people, when they get to those certain levels, oh, it's a lot of wicked stuff for some people with how they got to their gains and stuff as well, all right. But we're going to see some verses, all right. Let's start at Leviticus 19. We're going to see some verses of why in the law this was a problem what he did. It should not be a surprise. No, it is a law that the Most High will hear. Brother James didn't get this out of nowhere. Okay. Let's go to Leviticus chapter 19. Leviticus chapter 19. And just give me verse 13. All right. Leviticus chapter 19 and give me verse 13.
Thou shalt not defraud thy neighbor, neither rob him. The wages of him that is hired shall not abide with thee all night until the morning.
Did y'all know about this law?
Mhm.
Okay. Now, where y'all get off, this society is set up different. Okay. With us, we usually getting paid what? Primarily like, bi-weekly or every week. Okay. However, we do things usually how we would do it is you will give them their wages that day. This is actually a beautiful system. Okay. However, it is what it is what we deal with now. So basically, if somebody come over, they do some work, whatever, you try to pay it, you pay them that same time. Okay, because they have need. Okay, some of us, get in trouble. It's like, hey, I need my money. I done work 4 or 5 days, but I need my money to do certain things, but you got to wait in this society, when you get paid, whether that's the week or bi-weekly. All right. But how it was supposed to be done, Most High have this, no, you pay them. They work that day, you pay them that day. And when they come tomorrow, you pay them that day, right? So that's how it was supposed to be. Okay, that's how it's supposed to be. All right. So you don't defraud them nor neither rob them. Okay. That means if you said, well, I'm going to pay you $50 for the day, okay, and they work, you say, well, you know, you did, but I'm just going to give you 45. I think you deserve 45. No, you defrauded them because you promised them, told them this. Okay. Or you just flat out rob them. However, they both ways of stealing. The wages of him that is hired shall not abide with thee all night. Okay. So you cannot keep him. You must give it to them. All right. Until the morning. So don't hold it till the next day. Give them what they have worked for and earned. Right? All right, let's go to another spot. Deuteronomy chapter 24. Everybody understand that? Anybody have a problem with understanding what we just read? Okay. See, back in Bible time, you pay them right there. Okay, now you got to wait in 2 weeks and all that stuff. So Deuteronomy chapter 24, and let's go to verse 14. All right. Let's go to verse 14. We're going to read 14 and 15, but let's start at verse 14.
Thou shalt not oppress an hired servant that is poor and needy, whether he be of thy brethren or of thy strangers that are in thy gates within Salakia, or of thy strangers that are in thy land within thy gates.
All right. Don't be oppressing somebody that's working for you, whether he's your brother or what? A stranger.
Stranger.
All right. So don't, well, my brother, I'm gonna be this way, but the stranger, I'm gonna tell him I'm gonna pay him this, but I ain't gonna pay him that. Like, nah, don't do that. All right. Stay within thy gates, do not do that. Why? Let's read verse 15. See
At
why.
at his day thou shalt give him his hire. Neither shall the sun go down upon it, for he is poor, and setteth his heart upon it. Lest he cry against thee unto Yahweh, and it be sin unto thee.
All right. All right. So he's saying you don't hold that day because we just spoke about the other spot. You don't hold it till the morning, you pay him that day. All right. But it says him that's poor. All right. Oh, I ain't poor, so I can hold his back. All right. I don't need to pay him. Okay. No, don't work like that. What does poor mean, beloved? What's another word we use for poor? Mhm. So poor, basically somebody that's what? Going to be in need. Okay. So it must be like we don't get our check. Realize we're poor, we in need, right? So it's somebody that's in need. All right. For he is poor and set his heart upon it. I need this money so I can what? Pay these bills. Okay. So don't look at this and say, well, this is for somebody that's broke. No, 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 no. Get the context behind it. All right. They have their heart on, I need this money to take care of things I need to buy and things like that. That's why they'll cry to the Lord. I needed this. Right. Lord, can you make it right? All right. And now, at least he cry against thee unto Lord, and what? And it be sin unto thee. Uh-oh. It's another way you can what? Sin by doing this. Defrauding and robbing your neighbor, you can be in sin with the Most High, and he's going to hear their cry. This is what James is referring to. Let's go back to James. Okay. Just showing you a lot of times the writers, the prophets and stuff in the New Testament, the apostles, and when they're going through certain things, a lot of times they're just expounding what was already written. Okay. It might be new to you if you didn't, go to the Old Testament with certain things. Okay. But these ain't new principles as a lot of, preachers and stuff want to bring out. Let's read that verse 4 again, Brother Khan. You can keep going.
Behold, the higher laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth.
Mm-hmm.
Ye have lived in pleasure on the earth and been wanton. Ye have nourished your hearts as in the day of slaughter.
Mm-hmm.
Ye have condemned and killed the just, and he doth not resist you.
All right. Anybody got anything? I forgot to add that. Anybody had anything for what we just went over? Any questions? Anything you want to bring out? All right. So we look at this. All right. So we want to make sure we're mindful of that. so it don't turn into sin to us. And that's why we read the end of verse 17. To know to do good and not do it, it's a sin. Okay? And just piggybacking right on here. But verse 5, ye have lived in pleasure on earth and been wanting. All right. You've been living the good life, but you've been lacking. Ye have nourished your hearts as in the day of slaughter. Okay. And when you think about that, beloved, when you are preparing, when you're about to kill an animal and stuff like that, a lot of times they'll do what? They'll say they'll fatten them up for the kill, right? Because you want to, you have a whatever animal it is, I don't know, goat, chicken, cow, whatever, right? You want to get the most out of it, right? So they'll fatten them up. So the same thing with you. You've been living on this earth and just been overindulging in all this, the pleasures of the earth, right? But once again, they're not considering doing the things of God. All right. So he said, you nourish your hearts as in the day of slaughter. Ye have condemned and killed the just. You have been doing them wrong, whether you naturally, like physically killing them, taking their lives. All right. Or doing it in another aspect. All right. And he what? He don't resist you. He don't have no power to resist you. So you keep doing it. I'm gonna keep defrauding them. There ain't nothing they can do. What they gonna do? Take me to court? They don't got enough money to go through court with me. I got enough money, so they ain't gonna do that. So you defraud. You'll keep doing it. And a lot of times we get bold. Okay? That first time we sin and go against God, that's the hardest time. Right? Our conscience at a level, oh my God, I did something wrong. Oh, I got right. That's when it's tough. But guess what? Every time we continue, get easier and easier. That voice just starts to what? Start to fade away. That conscience starts to fade away. Because God does work in the conscience if you didn't know that. That's the spirit, right? So that voice will fade away. And then you get more and more what? Cocky, all right? And more confident in your wrongdoing. And that's how people go so far away. It seems like, they don't have no conscience. I remember they used to fear God. They used to, have a conscience, but now because they kept on practicing sin. Okay. If you practice sin, that's what's going to make you a sinner. Okay. Do not practice sin. Do not continue to sin. All right. Anybody have anything? If not, we're going to keep going. All right. We're going to keep going if nobody has anything. Brother Kai, the floor is yours. I'll let him in. Okay, I did let him in.
Verse 7.
Mhm.
Be patient, therefore, brethren, unto the coming of the Lord. Behold, the husbandman waiteth for the precious fruit of the earth, and have long patience for it, until he receive the early and latter rain.
Okay. So one of the big questions be, who is the husbandman? All right. Who is the husbandman waiting for these fruit? Okay. Let's go to John chapter 15. Let's let the Bible explain it. Okay. Good brother Kai just read in verse 7. Okay. Be patient, therefore. So we got to be patient, beloved. Unto the coming of the Lord, behold, the husbandman waiteth for the precious fruit of the earth. Okay. And if you thinking that this ain't talking about the natural stuff, all right. He had long patience for it. He'd been waiting. Okay. He'd been patient for this thing until he received it. But let's go to 15 real quick. Brother Kai, let's read this verse 1.
I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman.
So Christ is saying this. Christ said, I'm the true vine, but my Father, he's the husbandman. Okay. Let's keep reading just so you can see and make knowledge of the fruit. Verse 2.
Every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away, and every branch that beareth fruit, he purgeth it, that it may bring forth more fruit.
So the point of this walk, beloved, you got to desire to be edified. You got to desire to be corrected. Okay. A lot of people come in and saying, you know what? I'm going to do as much as I'm willing to do it. I'm going to sacrifice as much as I'm willing to sacrifice. I'm going to change as much as I'm willing to change. That's not being a child of God. That is not submitting to God. You're submitting yourself with the illusion that you're following God. And a lot of people are under this. Okay. You are asking the Most High. This is what he's saying. Every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away. So you must desire to what? Bear fruit. Every branch that beareth fruit, he purgeth it. Okay? So when you're purging, you think about a plant, it's cutting off some of the branches and stuff. It might be a little growth, but they'll prune it a certain way. Why? Because that kind of promotes growth into the fruits you have. Okay? You might have some patience, but guess what? The Father desires greater patience. Okay? You might have some joy. The Father requires greater joy for you. Okay? So any of all those fruits, there's different kinds, happiness, peace, righteousness, right? The Father is going to purge it so you can grow because he what? He desires you to bring forth more fruit. He don't desire you to be the same. Okay? He don't desire you to be the same way you were year 1, all right, in year 5. The same way year 5, year 10. Okay? You are supposed to produce more fruit, not struggling in the same aspect you were struggling in year 1. Okay? There should be clear growth, whether with how you serve the Most High, how you keep the Sabbath day, how you do the feast days, how you deal with people, how you love your brothers, and all that stuff's supposed to be growing. It should not be the same way. So we do be patient because a year 1 plant ain't gonna be as mature most likely as a year 5, year 15, However, beloved, the point is not to stay at year 1 for the next 5 years. The Most High is trying to prune us. He's putting us in positions to prune us. But sometimes, we don't want that. Growth can be painful, beloved. Growing pains. But this is what we are signing up for. He wants you to be perfect. Okay? He is going to reap a perfect harvest. But if you don't want to change, the Father is not going to have use for you. Okay? All right, let's go back to James. Let's go back to James. Right? So, Brother Kai read, all right. So he said, behold, the husbandman waited for the precious food of the earth. So we know his Lord waiting for the precious food of the earth and have long patience for it until he received the early and latter rain. Okay. So he desires this thing. He desires us, beloved. Okay. He is being patient. He is giving us time. This is how the God loves us. He's giving us time to get ourselves right. Because if he came tomorrow, a lot of us wouldn't be able to get it. All right. A lot of us will be done. Okay. But because he loved us, he has given us time. Are we taking advantage of the time? That's what you got to ask. Are we taking advantage of the time? Do you believe that if God came back today, you're going to be good gracious, be in good grace, be in good grace of him, right? If your question is, I don't know, then this is the time to think about it. If it's a no, then what do you need to do? What you waiting for? What do you need to do now? Because it's not promised you'll get tomorrow. Everybody worries about, the last day and the revelation stuff being fulfilled. And guess what, beloved? Your last day could be today. Just like the parable earlier, thou fool. You thought you was invincible. You thought that God can't take you today. You worried about tomorrow when God can say, this is your last night. That's one of the biggest misconceptions. We think that we have time. Look, beloved, some of us are getting a little older. It seems like 2 blanks and 10, 15 years done passed. We don't have much time. Today is the time we need to get right. Stop playing church. Stop playing I'm a child of God and actually do what thus saith the Lord. Or he's going to discard us. Okay? Don't look at the people out in the street and say, well, I'm better than them. So what? That doesn't mean nothing to God. Either you're going to be, he said, when I find faith when I come, either it's going to be the faithful or the unfaithful. There ain't no middle ground. But you're going to have a lot of people that's unfaithful arguing how they have more faith than this individual. That ain't how it's going. The devil's just laughing at you. All right. Let's keep going. Nobody got anything? We'll keep going.
Be ye also patient, establish your hearts, for the coming of the Lord draweth nigh.
Okay. And I know you're always hearing it. He's coming soon. He's coming soon. He's coming soon. Beloved, we're not in the beginner days. All right. With prophecy, we are in the latter days. All right. It was more behind us going toward Genesis than going forward. Okay. So he told us to what? Be ready. And then when you're ready, stay ready. Right? We don't have time to play around. This evil is getting stronger and stronger. All right, to try to overtake us, we have to be ready. We have to draw nigh to the Most High God. Right? Keep going.
Grudge not one against another, brethren, lest ye be condemned. Behold, the judge standeth before the door.
And this is strong. I'm going to go to a few spots from this. All right. Grudge not one against another, brother. Y'all should know the first one of the spots I'm going to go to from that, right? Lest ye be condemned. Beloved, we can't even hold grudges to one another. Some of us, well, you can hold a grudge. Yeah, I don't gotta like him right now. I'll get to a point where I won't have that feeling towards him. Nah, you don't got time for that. One of the obvious is the Lord's Prayer we go through every week. If ye forgive men not of their trespasses, neither will your heavenly Father forgive you. If you want to have a grudge against your brother and sister, guess what? The Most High got a grudge against you. And he said he can't. He can't just have mercy and just forgive it. Yeah, he's a loving God. He's a merciful God. But if you don't do what you're going to do, he ain't going to do what he's supposed to do. Okay? So remember that. Let's start moving. Let's go to James chapter 4. Let's go back one chapter. Let's go back one chapter. James chapter 4 and verse 11. Okay? Because he's going to judge. He said the disciples how we love one another. All right? James chapter 4 and verse 11. Go to verse 10, Brother Kai. James chapter 4 and verse 10.
Humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord, and he shall lift you up.
That's the problem right here. We don't want to humble ourselves before the Lord. That's why he can't lift us up. That's why we haven't been growing. That's why he can't do nothing. We got to humble ourselves. Read.
Speak not evil one another, brethren. He that speaketh evil of his brother, and judgeth his brother, speaketh evil of the law, and judgeth the law. But if thou judge the law, thou art not a doer of the law, but a judge.
All right. So we should not be speaking evil of our brothers and sisters. And also, beloved, we shouldn't tolerate people speaking evil of our brothers and sisters. Someone's like, well, I ain't say it. But they come from having a conversation. Okay? No. Okay? Because what happens is what you don't deny and reject, you start to usually be accustomed to it. And you see that all the time. You will pick up, if you be around something, right? Someone long enough, a lot of times you'll pick up certain mannerisms. And this is why God tells you stay away from certain things, because you will pick up certain mannerisms. Your spirit will try to start blending with that spirit. Okay? You'll start picking up the characteristics, some of the behaviors. So, once again, even with this, all right, that hatred and all that stuff, can't have that. Let's keep going. Let's go to Leviticus 19. Y'all should know this one. Brother Kai brings this out a lot of times. Leviticus 19, and we're going to go right to, let's go right to it, verse 18, Leviticus 19, and we're going to go to, matter of fact, go to start at 17. All right, Leviticus 19, and we're going to start at 17.
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him.
It was two things. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in what? Thy heart, and thy mind. You know, when you hate somebody, you don't got to say it. You be like, well, I ain't say it. I ain't verbalize. How you treating somebody? Right? Brother Kai, what's up, Brother Kai? How you doing, brother? Then I see Brother Floyd. Pay for it. Right? My behavior is showing. And that's what brother Peter got checked for. Whoa, you doing this? Then these people come in, you do it. That's you mess up the gospel, right? So, beloved, we have to understand, can't hate our brother in our heart. Because how it will manifest is what? How we treat one another. And then thou shalt anywise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him. Also, we need to correct each other. Say, brother, let me use Floyd. I'll use let's use Mother Val. All right. We'll use Mother Val. I know she won't mind. Okay. So with the second part, I'm sorry, right? Thou shalt wisely rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him. All right. So Mother Val sees something, right? She can correct it. Let's say Mother Val she don't like Brother Mike. Brother Mike does this. So when Brother Mike's doing something wrong, she knows wrong, but she will allow me to do it. Because she knows certain judgment that comes from not doing what thus saith the Lord. So she's going to stay quiet and let me do it. All right. And that suffers sin upon me. But she in her heart don't like me. That's why she won't mind sin coming upon me. Some people get happy because something bad happens to someone. It's not right in the congregation, people will do this kind of things. Oop, I heard something bad about Sister Danielle. I heard something bad about her. Yeah, I knew she didn't really love God. She trying to act like everything's all right and she's holy and righteous, but I knew something was up. Right? You don't have that kind of stuff in church. Can't be. Okay? We're guilty if we just stay quiet. Listen, being quiet does not make you free. A lot of people believe that. Well, I'm not going to say anything because I want to keep peace. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to offend my brother and say something and try to correct them because I want to keep the peace. The scriptures don't give you support for that. It actually says, now you're part of the problem. Now I got sin at my door because Brother Floyd was telling me how much he didn't like Brother Kai. And I didn't say nothing, so I got now Brother Michael's attached to it. Okay? So this is how these things can be. This is why somebody was like, man, why are we reaping? Why am I going through something? I ain't been talking. Yeah, you might not have did the act, or you might not have been talking about it, but you can be guilty by association. And the scriptures talk about it. All right. So we want to once again be mindful of these things. Why? Because we want growth. And sometimes we wonder, like, why are we growing? These are the little caveats, right? That we're not understanding. And that's causing big growth deficiencies in our lives, in our spiritual lives. Read the next verse, Brother Kai, verse 18.
Thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am Yahweh.
Simple instruction, but very hard to execute. Right? Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people. Can't bear a grudge. And it's tough. It's one of the biggest things, beloved. He's saying you can't bear a grudge. But thou shalt what? Love thy neighbor as thyself. Why is he connecting that to it? Because if you have a grudge in your heart to your neighbor, you can't love them. It's a stain on love. You can't love purely if you have a grudge against them. If I'm upset with my wife, I'm mad at her and all those kind of things, I have a grudge against her. And I'm not just talking about little frustration stuff, right? We don't see eye to eye, right? But now she does something, right? And I know this is not pleasing to God. But I'm upset with her, so I'm saying, I ain't going to say nothing. Let God do it. That's the kind of thing let God do it. God will handle it. No, I'm hating her at that moment. Right? And this is what we got to consider. When we are not helping our brothers and sisters, we are hating them. We're not telling them about the danger they have. We are hating them. And sometimes, beloved, believe it, there's times I'm like, I just want to shut up and not say nothing. I be quiet, sometimes I'm like, I don't want to say nothing. Oh, I know how this is going to turn out, Lord. I don't want to say anything. Because then it's going to be like Michael, right? But then you got these laws. It's like, do I want to offend them or do I want to offend God? And this is this is what we're bound with, beloved. Okay, these decisions, but we got to make the right one. Brother Floyd, what you got?
Oh, family. Just and also remember, the first thing they go to is judgment. You're not judging when you're correcting. You're just warning of coming judgment,
Mm-hmm.
not judgment. We always, people go there first, or you say, "Oh, I don't want to be judgmental," or somebody be like, "Don't be judging me. I'm not judging you. I'm not putting you in heaven. I'm not putting you in hell. I am warning you. If your actions continue, that judgment will be coming."
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Point. Point. All right. And this is why it's a group. It's a group effort, beloved. This is why we have to see that we're on the same team. All right. It's beautiful that we're young, we're small, because this is the time where we can build that camaraderie together. All right. We are on the same team. All right. If somebody try to attack one of us, it's like they're attacking all of us. All right. We need to be a united front. All right. Not just, I'm protecting my wife because she's my wife. No. Just like you love your siblings and stuff like that. That's how we gotta love one another. That's what Most High talking about. People shouldn't be uh let's say they shouldn't be confident to talk about my brother in my presence. Okay. In the sense of, yeah, that brother God, he's this and this and he did this. Oh, well, we can go to him. Maybe we can relieve the matter, right? Try to be the peacemaker in certain situations. Because a lot of times, beloved, Satan used people to put seeds in our minds, okay? So we can look at our brothers and sisters differently. Because what is that going to do? That's going to cause division amongst ourselves. And then guess what? We can't give perfect praise when we have division amongst ourselves. Satan knows this. Sometimes we don't understand it, okay? So that's why we want to make sure we love one another, because the Father is love. And when we in the midst of loving one another properly, guess who's in the midst? He's in the midst, okay? All right. So this is why, like I said, this is why I have these commandments and laws for that. All right. Let's go now to First Peter chapter 4. First Peter chapter 4. And let's jump down to verse 7. First Peter chapter 4. And we're going to go to verse 7. First Peter's, so basically the book right after James, where we was at. Okay. Go to chapter 4 and verse 7.
But the end of all things is at hand. Be ye therefore sober and watch unto prayer.
Mhm.
And above all things, have fervent charity among yourselves, for charity shall cover the multitude of sins.
That's what it does, beloved. Loving one another, it covers the multitude of sins. Don't we want to cover the multitude of sins, beloved? All right. Only charity, love will do these things. Keep going.
Use hospitality one to another without grudging.
Mhm.
As every man have received a gift, even so minister the same one to another, as good stewards of the manifold grace of God.
So use hospitality one to another without what? Grudging. No more fake love. Okay. Mean it, beloved. All right. I don't be all right. You're supposed to be trying to look at each other as brothers and sisters. That's how the Most High has it. Okay. We supposed to look and treat each other as brothers and sisters. So he said, don't let it be with grudging. Oh, I gotta be nice to Brother Kyle. He's my brother in Christ, so I gotta try to be right. It should be without that grudging spirit. Okay. Now I'm gonna say this other part now too, beloved. You ain't supposed to be difficult either. Okay. Don't be being you ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing, and and making people have to try to force themselves to love you. No, you're not supposed to be that way. Okay. But we want to open the door for grace. As in, there's some people, beloved, that are going to do things that might rub you the wrong way. right? Some people might offend and do those kind of things, all right? But open the door for them still need to see them as brothers and sisters, okay? Still try to love them through their faults and hopefully, right, through time and development, they can get better. Because I hope we're not under the impression that we were just perfect and everybody, we just don't offend nobody, right? We have done those things. And that lesson is for you to be able to do the same thing. That's why he's going with this. Okay. Verse 10. You read that, right, Brother Kai? Or no?
Uh,
Okay. So with the verse 10, as every man have received the gift, all right? Just like the Father gave you this gift, all right, y'all, you see that he didn't do it grudgingly. Oh, do I want to give this gift to Sister So-and-so? Oh, do I want to give this to brother? No, he gave it willingly. He was happy to, okay? His pleasure, all right? Same thing with us. Even so, minister the same one to another. We ought to serve each other the same way, okay? We go into the feast and definitely the two sisters that was doing the food, Sister Tima and Sister Shamika, right, giving food, is different from, oh, here you go, you want more, oh my God, you so great, right? No, they was doing it with a good spirit, smile on their face, being joyous, and that makes it intriguing, all right, to people that's receiving it, serving you, okay? Some people out around here, I don't know, some of y'all in different states, right? You got Chick-fil-A out here. It's like they're programmed to say, like, my pleasure and stuff like that. Some people just deal with them because of the mannerism. Okay. Some people don't even, I'll give y'all a secret. Some people don't even, come into the church just because they love God or they really see they want to desire God. Sometimes they're sold by the people, the treatment of the people. Because this world has been so harsh and cruel and cold to them that when somebody shows them a little bit of warmth, it's like, wow, right? So they embrace that. So just remember, beloved, and they say, sometimes the only Bible that people read and things of that nature, those things is true. But this is something that we are commanded to do, all right? As what? As good stewards of the manifold grace of God. So we desire to be good stewards. Let's go to another spot, okay? Let's go to Matthew chapter 5. Matthew chapter 5. All right. Anybody know what people call Matthew chapter 5? It starts with the B. Anybody know?
attitudes.
All right, beatitude. It's not in the scriptures like that. This is what people say. So, little FYI, little fun fact. Okay. So we go to 5 and verse 33. All right. Let's go to Matthew 5 and verse 33. This is a very important lesson. A lot of churches they fail in this category. Okay. And we will too if we do not keep God first, all right, and don't desire to grow. Matthew 5 and verse 33.
Again, ye have heard it that it had been said by them of old time, thou should not forswear thyself, but shalt perform unto the Lord thine oaths.
Mm-hmm.
But I say unto you, swear not at all, neither by heaven, for it is God's throne, nor by the earth, for it is his footstool, neither by Jerusalem, for it is the city of the great King.
Let's keep going. We was kind of touching on this last night
Mm-hmm.
about our words, all right, about that swearing. Okay, I think that might have had this for another passage, but we could just do it now. But we'll run into it in a couple verses. All right. So we should not swear at all, neither by heaven. Why? This is God's throne. How you can be swearing on something that you don't even own or possess? Okay. Well, you swear on something on earth. That's what? That's his footstool. You don't own nothing with there. You can't carry out that payment. Neither by Jerusalem. It's the city of the great king. All right. Because people do all kind of, definitely our people, we do all kind of things with fools. That's why you can tell this is dealing with us. Right. I swear on my dead person. You can't be swearing on your dead homie that died or dead parent that died, or we swear on my mom's back and everything. Your mom be all broken up dealing with what you be swearing with. Okay, we just throw it out there. That's not light. You are binding yourself when you swear. That's one of the ultimate binding. You're binding yourself with a contract. Okay? So just get that out of your repertoire. All right. Stop swearing. All right. You don't need to get comfortable with it. You don't need to do it. Okay. Let's keep going. You'll see why.
Neither shalt thou swear by thy head, because thou cannot make one hair white or black.
Mhm.
But let your communication be yea, yea, nay, nay. For whatsoever is more than these cometh of evil.
And this is where our conversation need to be. All right. When you say you're gonna do something, do it. Let your yes be a yes and your no be a no. Let it be straightforward, and people will just listen to what you do. Yeah, if she said yes, she'll be there. She said she's not doing it, she's not gonna do it. The mixed message is when we say we're gonna do something and then don't follow through. Wait, I thought you said you serve God and you do this, but then you do. They all confused because you all confused. But if your yay is yay and your nay is nay, remove it. But usually the biggest lies have to swear all the time because their word means nothing. It lost all currency. Okay? So they're the ones that, I swear to God, right? They have to do that because you don't believe their word. But beloved, as children of God, our word is supposed to mean something. Okay? And we won't have to do all that swearing when we are what? Saying what we mean and meaning what we say and following through. All right, let's go back to James chapter 5. Okay. Took y'all on a long trip. Okay. But the good news is I'm not precepting, a lot more of this unless something comes up. So we'll be going through some of it. All right. Let's go to verse 9. Read that verse 9 again.
Judge not one against another, brethren, lest ye be condemned. Behold, the judge standeth at the door, taking our brethren the prophets, who have spoken in the name of the Lord, for an example of suffering, affliction, and of patience.
Let's keep going.
Behold, we count them happy which endure. Ye have heard of the patience of Job, and have seen the end of the Lord, that the Lord is very pitiful and of tender mercy.
All right. So we got to take heed of these stories that we've received, beloved. All right. They said what? For an example of suffering, affliction, and of patience. We rejoice in the aspect of some of the, our forefathers and foremothers. But a lot of them went through some suffering. A lot of them have to be very patient. We got to be the same way. Right? Patience is huge. People don't realize though. But patience is what? I don't feel like doing this. I don't feel right. It's that tolerating things. Okay. One of the biggest things, this is where certain things we can only learn sometimes in a congregation setting because you have to learn to deal with people. You know how easy sometimes it will be if you don't have to worry about dealing with people. You can just be cut off, just worry about self. It'll be an easy thing. All right, Brother Mike, just worry about Brother Mike. I don't have to worry about them. I don't worry, right? I just worry about this. It's easy. But then you got to deal with certain things. Okay? So that's where that patience kick in. Oh, I don't feel like dealing with this. Oh, this person about to argue today, right? This is where the patience kick in. This is why there's so many stories dealing with the suffering and being patient. Because we're going to have to deal with this. These are the things that stunts our growth. This is why fruit don't grow because we don't want to be patient. And one of the biggest things about growth is what? Patience. All right? If you in the garden, you can have the best soil, you can do the best watering and all that stuff, but you still have to be what? Patient. All right? We got our brother Kai to go fishing. Okay? You got to be patient. You just reel it out there, bring it back in. Reel it out there, bring it back in. You ain't get time for the fish to get a chance. You got to be patient. But this society, all right, it try to get us away from being patient. It wants everything quick, 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 quick. And because you don't receive things as quick as you believe in the Lord, a lot of times we'll give up. We can't even wait for God to develop us. Look, I'm gonna seek the Lord. I'm gonna give him about 3 days, and if I don't get it by then, that's it. Okay. But the blessing, right, and the strength comes from persevering through it. Okay. And church, oh my gosh, y'all don't know some of the stuff. that happens sometimes, right? Even with learning. A lot of my wisdom is being patient. Sometimes it's hearing the same story a million times. Sometimes that's the patience, right? Hearing long lessons, right? It's a lot of things. So, beloved, a lot of things that's going to be good for us, we're going to have to go through some kind of suffering. Okay. So learn to embrace it. Okay. We're going to, it's okay. We're going to go through it. All right. But once again, we will look. That's why I say verse 11, behold, we count them happy which endure. When you look back at it, man, Job went through that. Oh man. David went through it. Oh man, that right. And we praise them for it. Same thing with you, beloved. Praise yourself. You're allowed to praise yourself for enduring, because this is what the Bible is teaching us to do. Okay. All right. Let's keep going, Brother Kai.
Verse 12. But
Mhm.
above all things, my brethren, swear not, neither by heaven, neither by the earth, neither by any other oath, but let your yea be yea, and your nay, nay, lest you fall into condemnation.
And
If the,
that's what we went over with when I went with the Matthew 5 with Christ, right? Don't be swearing in heaven or things on earth. That's dealing with that. Okay. But let's keep going.
is any among you afflicted? Let him pray. Is any merry? Let him sing psalms.
I like these. These is direct. You don't even gotta guess. It's direct. That's what I say. I ain't really gonna precept the debt, but if y'all got something, you can bring it out. Okay. Is any among you afflicted? Let him pray. See how easy, you don't even gotta think about it. Oh, I'm going through. Did you pray? That needs to be the thing. Sometimes we going through it. The first thing we want to do is spill it out to everybody. Sometimes that is not the best thing. Sometimes you can throw a burden on somebody else. Sometimes we do that. Go through something. Sometimes you cramp somebody else up because of what you're going through. Now, don't get it wrong. There are certain capacities. Yes, you can share and get that strength from somebody else. We also do those things. But the first thing you should do is pray. Sometimes through prayer, you can realize this is foolish. You know what I mean? Things I look at like, I'm really upset. And there ain't even no real reason why I should be upset or be this upset or be this frustrated. This ain't even a big deal like that. In the moment, sometimes I don't realize it. But sometimes when you're praying, or sometimes you listen to the spiritual song and stuff like that, you realize this is a small thing. So going to prayer is the best thing when you're afflicted. No matter what the affliction is, go to prayer. Ask God to help you. Sometimes when we are considered afflictions might be trials and tribulations. You think it is for a curse, but God is using it as a blessing, as a growth tool. But you didn't pray. You went and got hit and you cried. Okay? So make sure you pray. Ask God, how should I go about this? Sometimes he might say, I just want you to just focus on me. Sometimes he might say, get some strength from your brother and sister. Go talk to the leader, right? He might have you do different things, but you need to pray first so he direct your steps. Okay? If you don't go and pray first, then you are inviting Satan into the situation. Prayer is showing an acknowledgement. Lord, I'm going through this. Help me. And then at least you acknowledge God in what? So to acknowledge God in all our ways. That's how you can acknowledge him. Okay? So if you're afflicted, pray. Don't talk to nobody first. Pray first. Okay? Give God a chance to move, beloved. All right? So pray and then ask the Most High to direct your steps from there. Okay? And then is any merry? Are you happy? If you're happy, what does it say to do? Let them sing psalms. How many of us sing when we're happy? How many of us are singing and thinking about the goodness of the Lord when we're happy? Nope. We just happy and we act the same way we're going through something. Quiet as a mouse. No, when you are married, you should be singing to the Lord. But some of us don't want to sing to the Lord. When we're happy, oh, you don't want the joy. Oh, okay. I don't get acknowledgement when you are happy, right? But see, we only want to give attention to the most when we upset, when we going through something down, we're going to go to the Lord. But when we good, we don't want to share that with the Lord. You see how we are? And this translates to different parts of our lives. Right? Your relationship, you only want to dwell the past. It's only about the bad you want to share with your partner, but not the joy. You don't want to rejoice in the joy, the good with them. Your job is only about that. You don't want to rejoice, right? These things translate. And this is why the Most High teaches how to be, right? Just flat out great people, beloved. Okay? Don't look at it as just a constraint thing for the Sabbath or you're around church people. No, this is a lifestyle change he's trying to promote to us. This is a spiritual lifestyle that he's teaching us. Okay? So when you're afflicted, pray. When you're happy, sing psalms. Stock up on that joy. And a lot of times that can help you when you're afflicted. You know how many times you're going through something, maybe a heartbreak or whatever? And sometimes those church songs can bring you out. But when you were happy, you never deposit those songs. So now when you're going through, sometimes you don't have anything. Okay? So direct things, I can't add to it, can't take away. You're afflicted, pray. If you're married, you're happy, sing some psalms. Okay? Let's keep going.
Is any sick among you? Let him call for the elders of the church, and let them pray over him, anointing him with oil in the name of the Lord.
All right. So if you're sick, that's what you do. Okay? Does this mean you can't go to a doctor or anything? God forbid, no. All right? Not saying that. All right? But there's certain sicknesses, beloved, okay, that a doctor can't deal with. Okay? Some things, sometimes sickness can come. Well, I won't even dive into all the situations. But beloved, it's a lot of reasons why he's saying go to the elders of the church. Okay? Sometimes it's to prevent the spread of sicknesses, not just physical, beloved. Some of these things are spiritual sicknesses. Okay? There be many sick among you. Okay? So the sickness can be a spiritual thing. And just like we dealt with the COVID thing, right? Sometimes the best way to help the masses is to isolate. Okay? And this is why even in our law, when we had our land and our nation, sometimes you have to go what? Out the camp. So you don't spread that thing, get everybody in the camp messed up. So when you are sick, go to the elders. Okay? Call for the elders of the church. They shouldn't have to go to you. No, you need to call for them because that's part of the faith as well. Right? Call for the elders of the church and let them pray over him, anointing him with oil. So this is a way, and this is appropriate. You can anoint with oil. All right. So this is why some people get prayed for. Okay. They pray for them, they get the oil. You got a scripture for it. Okay. Anybody have anything? I realize I haven't been opening it up. Anybody have anything from the couple verses we read? Good, you good, you good? All right. That 15 is continuing 14, so let's get that 15.
And prayer of faith shall save the sick, and the Lord shall raise him up. And if he have committed sins, they shall be forgiven him.
And this is something, beloved, I won't go to our verses or whatever. All right. So the prayer of faith shall save the sick. Okay. So sometimes it ain't just the things we're thinking about. Okay. Certain sicknesses where you get medicine, right? This is something that doctor can't do. All right. So the prayer of faith shall save the sick, and what? The Lord shall raise them up. Okay. Lord can restore them. And look at the caveat with it. And if you have committed sins, they shall be forgiven him. So you'll see this a lot of times when Christ is on the scene, right? He'll do a certain healing, right? Sick and all that stuff. And he's saying what? Sin no more, or it's been forgiven. Okay. So a lot of times they're attaching certain things happen to us because of sins. Okay. This is why I say sometimes you can't go to the doctor because that won't alleviate it. Some of these things that came upon you was because of sin. So you need a spiritual doctor, which the Most High has put in place with the elders, right, to help Okay, in that case. And he's telling you, this is who we instructed to do this, to handle this. Okay? But some people go all around here, here. But there's certain things. Got to get it here. All right? Even with disciples, he said, this cometh out. Remember when he healed that young man, he got that demon in him? He said, this cometh out by fasting and praying. Okay? Certain things, you got to have spiritual strength to get it out of people. There's some certain addictions, certain, things, that can really hold somebody down. You want to need power then to get that off. Okay? So leaders, we have that responsibility to make sure we are staying in tune in the spirit and being ready as well. Because there's going to be people that depend on us. Okay? And they're looking at us as representatives, as true elders of the church, and we need to be that. All right? Anybody got anything before we keep going? All right. Let's keep going then.
Confess your faults one to another and pray for another, that ye may be healed. The effectual, fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much.
It does, beloved, being righteous, that prayer will avail much. Okay? He's going to give us some examples. Let's keep going.
Elias was a man subject to like passions, as we are, and he prayed earnestly that it might not rain. And it rained not on the earth by the space of 3 years and 6 months.
Mhm.
And he prayed again, and the heaven gave rain, and the earth brought forth her fruit.
All right, so he's showing Brother Elijah. He said, Brother Elijah, like us. And that's the difference. You see how they're relating themselves? That you can do what they do. Sometimes we put the prophets and stuff such in a high esteem that we almost say like they're unrelatable. Oh, yeah, they could do it, but no. These examples is for us. Just like Elijah prayed and this happened, then he prayed again, right? That prayer is availing. Have the faith of Elijah. Have the faith of Elijah. Prayer, that power prayer didn't go nowhere. That power faith ain't go nowhere. Okay? We got some of these same things. All right. But don't be praying for no 6 months out rain and stuff like that. All right. These specific cases. But that prayer and that faith, all right. Christ has told us how we can strengthen that and the works that we can do if we do this thing correctly. All right. But it's dealing with faith. We have to build up our faith. All right. Finish it up, Brother Kai.
Brethren, if any of you do err from the truth, and one convert him, let him know that he which converteth the sinner from the error of his way shall save a soul from death, and shall hide a multitude of sins.
Look at this. All right. Going back to love. If you see somebody err from the truth, we read this in Leviticus, right? See your brother in fault, you got to try to what? Try to save him. All right. If you see him err from the truth and one convert him, all right. So think about that power you have. You have the power to convert. You got the power to help somebody that's falling away from you. You have the power to help them. We just want the power, the knowledge to tell somebody how wrong they are, but we don't want to use our power to save our brothers and sisters. See, that's that hatred within us. Verse 20, let him know that he which converteth the sinner from the error of his ways shall save a soul from death. We are supposed to be the true lifesavers, beloved, and shall hide a multitude of sins. Are we desiring to do this? Are we desiring to save people from the error of their ways? Or are we just out here trying to tell people how they don't know the Bible as much as we, or they're not doing the truth like us? What is your desire? What's your true desire to do with in this life? Most High going to manifest. If you truly desire to live righteous, it will be manifest in your life. You truly desire to help people, it will be manifest in your life. So the question to think about is, what is our desires? Because he won't hold no good thing from us. Do we truly desire to help others? Or we just truly desire to help ourselves? Okay. All right. Anybody have anything? We good, we good, we good. All right. Well, beloved, that was James chapter 5. James chapter 5. All right. We're going to end it there. So, our brothers and sisters watching online, as always, we say shalom, right, which means peace, and Yana Habatham, which means we love you all.